Hi, everybody, and welcome to IUP football for another year, 2016. This is Jack Benedict, and welcome to the Coach Curt Cignetti Show. We're going to talk with a coach each and every week about IUP football. It should be an exciting season. And it started off with an unbelievable game, Coach. I mean, you've been around in different divisions, coaching here, there, and everywhere, 789 total yards, and all these points. Have you ever been involved in anything like this?
No, that's the most yards and points for sure, and played really well on offense. And Stroudsburg was over playing the run a little bit, gave us some good pass opportunities, and we broke some long runs. So it was. I mean, there's still improvement to be made on tape, technique, execution, decision making. A lot of points.
Yeah, 73-42, second most points in the history of IUP. The 789 yards, and they were feeding me the stats as the game was going on, second most in the conference ever. And that's incredible. And the thing was the balance, 395, 394. I mean, it's incredible, isn't it?
As an offensive coach, you always talk about balance, and it's hard to be much more balanced than that. And could have scored 80 points, really took a knee at the end. So.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of guys that we can bring about and talk about for IUP, and we figured that the Hawks are going to have a really potent offense, and it all centers around the quarterback. And we don't like to focus on certain people, but you can't. Lenny Williams has got to be somebody to talk. 465 total yards for him, and that's second most, and of course he's the first most. But you and I have talked about. You said he was the most improved player in the spring.
Right.
He's really come along as a passer, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Thought in the spring he was our most improved player. With his footwork, decision making, accuracy, understanding coverages, knowledge of the offense, and the offense has expanded and changed a little bit from last year. And he carried that on in fall camp and played very well Saturday. I mean, Lenny's a great competitor and plays with a lot of heart, a lot of passion, and of course he's got great scrambling ability. Mm-hmm. He can throw the ball, so he's a problem for defenses, and he played extremely well. Now there's still a couple critical errors there, things that can be improved upon, but he played a great game. Yeah,
20 for 24, wow, just amazing. The other thing is he's working with some new receivers too.
Yeah.
You lost Schwanique Brown, the other Brown, Jordan
Right.
Brown's no longer around, so that takes a while, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, Walt's back and he wasn't out in the spring, and JoJo Goss from Rutgers is a big target.
Yeah.
And Chris Woosner from Pitt is another big target. And Devin Altman played quite a bit. Alan Wright, who we've moved over from defense. And there's some new people there. But I saw the passing game start to come a little bit in camp. And we still have a ways to go. I mean, the numbers may not say that, but every week is a different challenge, a different scheme, a different matchup. So we got to continue to improve.
Yeah, I would think that you would love to get the ball whenever you can to Walt Pegues or to Bullock now. You've got some weapons there, don't you?
Yeah, we've got pretty, it all starts up front with the line. And our line played very well. I feel good about our line and our depth on the offensive line. Ethan Cooper played great. And of course, he did sustain an injury and to his finger. We'll find out a little bit more about that today or tomorrow. But that's where it starts. Mm-hmm. And then, in terms of the weapons, I mean, you add these running backs to what we had coming back. And, we've got some weapons on offense. So, yeah. I mean, I don't think we can always count on scoring, points like we did Saturday.
Right.
But it's a good situation to be in.
Yeah, who could ever have expected anything like that? Let me go back to the offensive line for just a moment. Of course, in one tackle, you have Joe Peterson, who started quite a few games for. He's only a sophomore.
Right.
And then Jeff Arnold, where it all starts, a center position.
Yeah.
Here's a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, redshirt freshman from Brashear, Western Pennsylvania, and really a smart player, very dedicated and committed. He's got good size, played well in his first game. Joe Peterson started last year as a true freshman, so from Du Bois, he's in his second year. Then we got Eddie Byer at left guard, who's a fourth-year senior. We weren't able to redshirt him his freshman year. He's played some center, some guard for us from Philadelphia. And then right guard, Tony Morgante, has been a 3-year starter for us. He's a senior. And then the right tackle, we got Coop, who's, probably, in my opinion, the best lineman in the conference, one of the best in the country, and he played that way Saturday. He was just tremendous. When he got hurt, Gabe Diaz came in at right tackle, who started games for us last year also. So.
Yeah, I was going to bring it up. You always need depth. Do you have some depth you feel on the offensive line? I know some of the guys that I've seen on the second team have had some minutes played.
I feel like we do, and I think in camp I saw a lot of the number twos progress. Now we get in season, and their reps get cut a little bit when we work against the opponent. They get just about the same number of reps when we work good on good, so they've got to continue to develop because they're always one play away. I think we'd be remiss too if we didn't talk about the tight ends, Rex Pierce and Kevin Edwards, who also did an outstanding job in the game.
Yeah, they're kind of unnoticed, aren't they?
Yeah, very much.
Not by the coaches,
No.
no. But they don't have the numbers, but they certainly do the job for you. Who could ever have expected the game to start out as it did? They went right down the field.
They did.
You were battling back and forth in the first four series.
Well, we kind of knew. I thought going into the game, both offenses were at a little bit of an advantage because we had one game on East Stroudsburg, but we've seen enough of them through the years to know that their offense is very multiple and diverse, and they can do a lot of things. And they didn't do a lot in their opener. Our offense, we had made some adjustments, which Stroudsburg had not seen. So Stroudsburg gets the ball, and they did about 4 or 5 things in this game, whether it was formation or play, quads, 4x1, different ways to get the ball to 29, who is a top-notch player. He's as good as any player in the league with the ball in his hand. And I give them a lot of credit. That caused some problems for us. They went down and scored the first drive of the game. We had a senior miss an assignment, on the 6-yard line, which led to their touchdown. And then we held them. They scored again on a double move. But then the next 5 series on defense, we forced 4 punts and scored a touchdown. So we really played pretty dominant defense there for 5 series. At the end of the half, the offense could not make a first down on 3rd down. They got the ball back. Now, and the disappointing part, I think, in everyone's minds then is 30 seconds to go in the half, you're up 45-14. We lose contain on the quarterback. He hits 29 on a scramble and gets it down in there. We give up a corner route for a touchdown the next play. Our defensive back should have been outside, lined up inside, and if he lines up outside, the route's dead. So at halftime, you're still up 45-24, and the message was sort of remember Kutztown last year. We had a big lead in the 3rd quarter and let it slide away. And offensively, we did a nice job in the second half, kept putting points on the board. But Stroudsburg's credit, they didn't quit on offense, and they continued to make some plays. It was some of our doing, some of their doing, and thus you get the final result. Yeah,
you can't be too happy though with the penalties. Granted, it was a first game for you. They had already played a game.
Well, the goal going into the game was, look, we want to play like relentless competitors, consistency in performance, one play at a time, play every play like it's nothing, regardless of the circumstances of the game. And that's how we try to play every game. Let's get the snaps down on offense, no errant snaps, cut out the penalties, win the line scrimmage defensively, win the line scrimmage, no penalties. Don't give up big plays. Special teams, be great, which I think will be much improved this year. So I think once we got the game up to 45-14, where our guys still have a way to go is not being satisfied and playing that game like it's nothing. And I think we got a little satisfied. We made a couple poor decisions. Jamal scored a touchdown. He didn't hand the ball to the ref. He didn't spike it either, but he got called. And Aquino made a great play on special teams, and he did this very quickly, and he got called. And so I wasn't happy about the penalties at halftime. And we had a couple holds out there at receiver, one block in the back. And, we've got to clean that up.
Yeah, I think the refs have to, just personally, I think they have to let them you don't want taunting, but
Right.
you want them to celebrate a little bit. It's fun.
Well, I think sometimes when games get out of hand, there's a sympathy factor. And I talked to the officials at halftime, and I said, look, just call it fair. You know, I thought the one drive we caught the touchdown pass, it got
To Piggies.
called incomplete. The play before they jumped offsides, hit our center, wasn't called. So, but look, that stuff's all on us, and our mental intensity throughout the game needs to be sustained, and our discipline needs to improve. Mm-hmm. And the guys that made those errors, they will pay today at practice.
You brought up special teams. That's always such a big part in the improvement. Got to mention Ryan Stewart. He had some tough times last year.
Mm-hmm.
Local kid. Looks like he's come on even in practice. And then he sets a record with 10 extra points as a record.
Yeah.
And he went 10 for 10,
Right.
and he added a field goal. So everybody had to feel good for him.
Yeah, I thought he bounced back well at the end of last year, made some key kicks, kicked the ball well in the spring, kicked the ball well in the fall, had a great day. You know, we got Dylan Sarka right there competing with them. I mean, both those guys' percentages on field goals and extra points in camp was tremendous. Mm-hmm. And Dylan's got a little stronger leg. If we have a little longer field goal, it'll probably be him. I was really glad for Ryan.
Yeah, it's good to have competition though sometimes, isn't it?
Competition keeps you on your toes.
Yeah. All right, Cheney. I mean, let's face it. You got to play them. You got to go.
Yeah.
It's a long trip. They lose 79-3 to Cal.
Yeah.
But the preparation remains the same, doesn't it?
This game's all about our standards and making our standards. And the biggest opponent and challenge we have this week is the person we're looking at in the mirror. Mm-hmm. And we have to have good practices. We have to improve. We have a lot of improvement to make during the game in terms of sustaining our mental intensity, discipline, decision-making, technique, effort, pad level. You know, we had some assignment errors. So there won't be a lot of talk about the opponent this week. This week's all about us.
Mm-hmm. But it's good to have a game, a regular game under your belt, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, tremendous. I mean, our guys got tired of hitting one another.
Yeah,
and it was hot. I mean, it was 90 degrees. It was humid. But it was hot during camp. And we were running plays fast on offense, and I know our guys were tired, but, you know, they were really gassed on defense. And so we still got to get in a little better shape. Yeah.
Well, I know you've stressed that all along. Fourth quarter, we better be conditioned. And you get these hot days. You really do need it. You need to stay hydrated.
Got to win the fourth quarter all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A couple times we fell short last year. We didn't get it done in the fourth quarter. That's one of our objectives this year.
All right, Curt, good luck on the road. It's a 3-game road trip, so we're in the middle now with Cheney, Edinburgh down the line. But we wish you the best of luck. Keep it going.
Thanks, Jack.
Okay. We've got Cheney coming up. That's a kickoff at 1 o'clock out near the Philly area against the Cheney Wolves. So we hope you'll be tuned to IUP football each and every week right here as we talk with Coach Cignetti about IUP Crimson Hawks football. This is Jack Benedict. Have a nice evening.